Yo, 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 what's going on, everyone? What up, what up? It's your girl, Miss DJ Hoodie, getting at you guys with another Why Run podcast live and up on panel. We got Just Rob.
Some boo that guy. I told you I was gonna change my name to that, right?
mm-hmm. But
Yeah.
is that because you're trying to duck, or are you just trying
Mm.
to change the hate algorithm? Ooh.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, sorry. Didn't mean to.
Did you just send me something?
No, I reacted to one of your messages and notified
Mm.
you. Sorry.
Man, look at you trying to throw me off.
No, 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 no. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
It was a misunderstanding.
Was it though?
Yes.
So
How
how
are
are
you,
you,
babe?
babe? I'm
We're just
good.
gonna be talking over each other. See? See what I mean?
Yes. Yup. Yup.
It's a good sign though for us.
Is
It's
it?
okay. Yes, I'll wait for you. You go ahead. Ladies first.
um, ladies first, or ladies can't hear? We don't hear. We don't listen.
No,
Mm-hmm.
no. We'll get
Isn't
into that, but how are you?
this morning? So, oh my God, I can't say it. I can't say it.
You know, when you say that, I already know, so just say it.
No. Okay, I'll say it, but don't look.
What? Yeah, okay.
Did you look? I think
Yes, I
you.
did.
I think you looked at it.
Yes, I did. As soon as
One
you were
ten,
like, oh,
one
no,
ten, one
you want?
ten.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. Yeah, nobody understands. Or they probably do because your cousin does, right? Like you guys kind of
yeah.
do that too. Have you guys been doing that before you and I met, or is it just something that you're like, "Hey, did you ever notice?"
Um, I don't remember when it was, but I
111.
remember there was 111. Oh, that was 111. Um, a while back, I think it was maybe like 3 years ago, 4 years maybe, where I started seeing these numbers just back to back to back, and I was like, "What the hell is going on?" So I started taking screenshots of it, and then I made a post on Facebook. This is how I know it's been a long ass time. And then she was like, "Oh my god, I do too. I see it all the time." So then I think maybe a year ago we started just hitting each other up with whenever we would see it. But I told her because I was like, you know what, you have a fucking alarm on. And she's like, no, I don't. But yeah, just sometimes randomly we'll send it to each other if we see it. But lately she's been sending me just random times whenever she looks at the clock. I'm like, don't do that.
She's trying to
But
throw you off. She's trying to fuck with your spiritual numbers.
yeah, no, because I mean I really don't. If I'm not on the phone with you or if I'm not around my phone, I don't even look at it. I turn music on, I turn podcasts on, and I just walk away from the phone, so I don't even see it. You okay?
Mm-hmm.
You said you were tense.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's still from yesterday?
No, because sometimes when I paint, especially the ornaments, I get, you just get tense. I mean, my pops is like
Mm-hmm.
that. Like when he paints, he gets tense. So it's
Oh, because
just,
you're just in one position.
yeah, and you're like looking down, and when you're like painting on the canvas, you're kind of like your back is more straight. You know,
Mhm.
when you're painting small items and you're holding it in your hand, like your neck, like you're looking down and you start to like hunch over.
Mhm.
So that's where, yeah, that's how I am.
You know what I just realized?
What?
You have pretty good posture for an artist.
What? No, I don't.
Yes. Uh, Man, I
You need
catch
to
myself. I
tie
need.
a board to my back.
No, I need to do that to myself. I am so bad on posture. I catch myself all the time, and I'm like, sit up straight, damn it. Like, I don't know. I just, it's weird. But yeah, I noticed. I think it was last night. I was like, you sit up straight all the time.
Yeah,
You think
I
those I'm sorry, go
what?
ahead.
No, no, no. What?
No, I was gonna say, you think those back braces work?
I have a back brace and I still slouch.
But
But
yours is
I
those safety ones, no?
yeah, like it's used for like if you're like lifting, like you're like lifting
No,
something heavy,
I'm
but
I'm
what?
talking about the ones that go over your shoulders. That kind of it has a metal, I think, brace in the back, like the high back, not the lower back.
Mm, nuh-uh.
You've never seen them?
No.
I was gonna buy one, but I don't know. I saw the reviews and people were like, it doesn't work.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, that
I don't know
I'm
why that
gonna
was
make
so
one out of
funny.
PVC.
You're
I'm gonna
gonna
make one out of PVC pipes. There's so many things you
oh
can make out of
shit.
PVC. Um,
Oh damn. I yeah, I bought mine like a few years ago for when I was gonna work at Amazon because I hurt my back a few years
mm,
ago when I fell at Home Depot. And I obviously like I wanted to work and but I have like back problems, so I was like, man, like this fucking sucks. So um I bought me one and I tried it out. I, I don't know. I was just I was laughing about it because I'm just like, man, this shit just feels like it just don't work.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't feel like it works, but I feel like I haven't really like put it to the test either.
Hmm.
So
Well,
I
you're
don't think
supposed to
I've
put those on like super tight. That's why I can't do it. 'Cause you know how they have those other adjusters in the back? You're supposed to like strap that to the front. That way it keeps you supposedly keeps you straight or safe, whatever.
yeah. Yeah, for me I don't know. I haven't really like I haven't even thought about wearing one as I'm woodworking, like when I'm picking up like huge pieces of wood and or just like carrying stuff around. We probably should be wearing one cuz we're getting old as shit. Yeah, we
We're
are.
not. I mean,
I
we are, but
am.
we're not.
Oh
I'm
my
aging
god.
faster than you are. Have you seen my hair?
What?
Like, looking. I said I'm aging faster than you are. Have you seen my hair?
What, your hair?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
I seen
all
it last
white.
night. Oh, I thought
Yeah.
you were talking about like your I thought you were talking about your hairdo. See,
No.
misunderstandings.
Yes, exactly. No, I
Oh
mean the
my
grays.
god.
The grays are taking over.
I found one white hair. And if you guys go to my Instagram stories, I posted it on there. And I saved it to as a highlight.
Oh, you
And
did?
yeah, I did. I saved it cuz it's true, man. Like I don't think people like really like talk about it. Like they just I mean, I don't know. What was her name? I think her name was Michelle Visage. She was a part of that drag race show or whatever.
Mm.
And like I guess she embraced her white hair by dyeing it completely To me it looks white, but she claims that it's platinum. Like, you know how everybody was, well, every
Yeah,
female was on that like silver platinum hair kick where they
yeah,
started like doing like one streak of like platinum in their hair or something.
yeah.
But she went all gray, and I was like, not me, bitch.
I think I should do some research on that because I know a friend of mine told me that if you have that there's a difference between if it's white or gray. If it's gray hair, I think it's aging, and if it's white, it's stress. I think that's what she said. I don't know. I could have that wrong, but
Oh, you should
um,
research that.
yeah. And then she said that I guess a friend of hers that her hair started turning, so she started using that purple shampoo that you use
Mm-hmm.
when you dye your hair. And she said
Mm-hmm.
that it changed the protein in the hair, so it went back to her natural color. And I was like, what the hell?
Mm.
I was
Really?
like, I don't know, but my hair is turning all kinds of different colors. But
Colors.
I don't know if it's colors. I don't know if I'm
Colors.
getting old or. But is that really an indication of age or aging? Because I know that there's like 20-year-olds that have gray hair. So I don't know if it's just genetics or if it's stress or what it is. But I don't think it has anything to do with age. Because honestly, if you just found the hair at 39 years old, then I don't think age.
Whoa, you cut out.
I did.
Uh-oh. Yeah, you did.
I
I
think
don't
it
know
was
if
this.
it's on my end, but
Go. Oh no, okay.
well, I
You
have a
there?
little promo if I may. Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. Can I do a promo?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, here we go, ladies and gents. You can now get
Oh no.
yes, you can now get just Rob's uh Twitter X handle merch. I don't
Merch.
even have merch, but just Rob has merch. And if I can, I will put it in the chat or in the description of the link of where you guys could get the merch. It is a just what is it? Rob's just thinking Twitter X handle glassy black coffee mug. What? And I told Rob, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get me one since sometimes you and I can't remember your Twitter X handle.
Yeah.
So if you guys forget his Twitter X handle too, why don't you guys go ahead and pick you up a spiffy little, just Rob mug of his Twitter X handle. So there it is. It looks pretty. I like it. It's dope as
It looks
hell.
pretty.
Hey,
Yeah.
yeah. And
Go
can
get
I
yourself
just,
a mug.
huh?
I was telling the people go get themselves a mug, but don't follow me. Just
Oh
don't.
my gosh, stop it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I actually forgot what I was gonna say. But since I'm an artist, I'm thinking about creating some merch. So just a little heads up, I don't like the sales pitch. Nobody likes a sales pitch, but I thought this was pretty cool. So yeah, it's there if you guys want it. But more items are to come. So and I will be in a couple weeks. I'll be promoting my artwork. So yeah, go get you some cool spiffy stuffs.
Well, thank you, Big, for that.
Mhm.
I'm
So
still gonna
you
make that shirt.
yeah, I was actually
Yeah.
thinking about making use some shirts to put on the store in the store, but I think people that are gonna be wearing your merch shirt, they're gonna be in for a surprise because the person walking around with your shirt we'll be promoting you, walking advertisement, but they're gonna be like, yo, I just seen this white chick named Stephanie wearing the shirt, but who's this Rob guy? Who's this guy?
No, they're gonna buy the shirt and then they're gonna write on it, "Boo that guy."
No.
Hmm.
I don't think so. I don't think
No,
so.
we should make promotional shirts for that one show that we're going to. Don't mention it, because people would jinx it.
Oh yeah, our OnlyFans.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yes. You
Mhm.
never gave us your reaction to my idea for
Oh my
OnlyFans.
gosh, you guys, it was like the most sexiest thing, the most sexiest idea he has ever come up with. And trust me, when we get freaky in the sheets, he has some pretty good wild fucking ideas. So when he presented me with this shit on Twitter, I was like, "Oh my god, yes. I want to do this." Yes. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm down. I'm down. I'm way down.
Yeah, I know. I got your
Mm-hmm.
reaction, but they didn't. Even though I told you to go react to them.
Yeah, they're like, what the hell are they talking about? You
Yeah.
guys are just gonna have to stay tuned and see.
No, go listen to that one episode. What was the name of it? The one that we mentioned that the 4th of July one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What was the name of it though? I forgot.
Oh shit, I don't know. Let me go back and
Wait
find
a
out.
second.
It was when was it? Hold on a
No, on the
second.
fourth of
Oh,
July,
okay.
I think.
The social media algorithm.
Oh, yeah, that
Yep.
one.
So go listen to that episode. You know what? I need to like put this shit in the cuz I want to post stuff in my own chat, but I don't want to go to my channel and do all that. It's all stupid. Oh, okay. Here we go. I found it. I found it, you guys. That way you guys can go check it out. But you want to go ahead and kick off
Oh,
this episode?
is hold on. Is that the same one that we sounded like we were old people having sex?
Oh my god. No,
Was it
that
was
what
it that
was
one?
it? I don't even
I
remember.
think it was.
Oh
I think it was in the
sh-
beginning, right? Because you played that clip. And like, are you done? Yes.
tell them about that because they're gonna be like, what?
Well, there was before we started the show, we were supposed to do a sound check, and I was telling you how we could do it because we were on the phone, and then I was like, oh, well, we'll do it on Instagram, and then I don't know why you got upset or like you sounded like you were mad. I'm like, we're just doing a sound check, babe. But you were like, are you done? I'm like, yes.
I don't even know why
But yeah,
either. I think it was because I was all set and ready to go, and then at the very last minute, like right when I was gonna press go live, you were like sound check, and I was just like, oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, I got mad. Hey,
yeah, no,
sorry, babe.
it's okay. So now we can get into the show because
Mm.
of
Oh
those
well, you know what?
misunderstandings.
I
What
could I could actually play that clip.
can you?
Yeah, I'm gonna play it right now.
Okay.
That way you guys can hear it. Okay. Does this sound like two old people having sex? Oh my god, where's the
Well, first of all, go get some help because hot dogs are delicious with bacon.
No, it wasn't
But
that yes.
like,
One,
it
baby.
just doesn't make sense to me why a hot dog would be offensive. And okay, maybe I don't know the backstory. Maybe your mom choked on a hot dog and she died, and now you're offended by hot dogs and shit. I don't fucking know. But if I don't know, then you can't really be mad at me for not knowing. Like, oh, don't say hot dogs in front of me because I find that offensive. And it's like, well, first
This
of
is the hot dog offensive one.
all,
That's the one that got pulled up. Yeah, okay, I don't have it, but I don't know. Let's see. You sent it to me, and that's what I was trying to
Yeah,
pull up and play right now, but I guess that one's gonna have to wait.
yeah. We're gonna have to come up with a bloopers show, babe, because we have a lot of bloopers.
Mm-hmm. We do.
We'll see. Yes, we do. A lot of
And they're
misunderstandings.
funny. They're fucking funny as hell.
Yeah.
They are funny.
Well, you're funny.
Say what?
I say you're funny. You're funnier than a lot of people know.
Mm, I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I actually have I have all these drinks on my desk. And we talked about that yesterday. We talked about pet peeves. And then I said, "Yo, I'm a collector of drinks. Like drinks and like cups. Like I always leave my cups like all over the place."
What's on Audie's desk?
Tell him, babe.
I, I see coffee and I see water. And that's not because I know that you drink coffee and water, but I see like a little coffee, like the ones that you get from, what is it called? McDonald's?
Mhm.
You have one of those or no?
No.
It's
Not
not that
today.
one.
Not
No, but I
today.
mean, it's been sitting on your desk for like a week. No?
A McDonald's cup?
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
the one that you
No.
get the coffee. Huh.
No.
Okay. I
Not
failed.
today.
What is it?
Oh
What do
shit.
you have sitting on your desk? Ah, you found it?
Found what?
The coffee cup.
The coffee cup. What are you talking about?
Yes. I don't know. I see a coffee cup, but maybe not.
No. I just have, remember one of those big cups that we got? That's what I have my coffee in. I have a Diet Coke and I have my purple water bottle, excuse me. And then the cup that has paint water in it. So
When was the last time you went to McDonald's and got a coffee?
mm, like a month. Ever since you made my first coffee here at the house, I never went back.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm. Thank you,
That's
babe.
good. Oh, you're welcome.
Yes. Hey.
You see, I converted you. Now
Yes, you
you're
did.
saving money. You're not
Mm-hmm.
giving your
Way.
money to these evil companies.
Oh my gosh. He's talking about Satan.
Yeah, yeah,
But it's also Greek mythology. Remember I was telling you guys about it?
yeah.
But it's still a devilish thing in Greek. So I suppose
Mm,
it's still um yeah, resides with the devil.
yeah, for sure.
So stay the
Medusa.
fuck away from Starbucks. Just kidding. I like Starbucks. It's just coffee. You know, like to me, it's just coffee.
No.
But of
Okay,
course, like the
how much
logo.
different? No, no, no.
What?
Let's. How different is Starbucks from the coffee that you're making now at home?
What's the difference?
Yeah, like is there a big difference between the taste?
No.
Exactly. See, you proved my point. I've always said it's Nescafe coffee. I
But
guarantee you they use Nescafe coffee. Coffee.
coffee.
Coffee.
You're supposed to
For
say it like
who else?
coffee.
Hell no.
Starbucks.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I can only get that high pitched when around sleeping.
Yeah, that's for true. Oh my god, you scared the shit out of me. I was like, who the fuck is sleeping with me in my bed? Get out.
Get out.
That was scary. That was scary as hell. Oh my god.
You see
Oh
why
wait,
you shouldn't
okay.
be watching those things? You're that
What, the
new.
TikToks?
Yeah.
Damn, there's some like crazy, crazy ones. Like I see ones with like animals. Of course people. Um, but I don't know. Like I'm starting to feel like yeah, things are being like exaggerated because of AI. And
Mhm.
you know, we've been had filters. You know, you can make a video you know, grainy and all of that shit as if it was recorded like in the 70s or like the 90s.
Mhm.
You know, the contrast and the brightness and you know, the who's and the hues and all of those things, but it's like now like you could just generate anything to look like anything. And the whole you know, we talked about the AI mimicking celebrity voices and you know, like people's faces and you know,
Mhm.
to be advertised in a herpes commercial. I still
Mhm.
know another
Mhm.
a motherfucker that could do that, but anyway, um to you you can literally make up and generate anything. And when everything's on TikTok, it is believable. You know, like all you have to do is, you know, steal a audio recording of, let's say, people at a fucking football game or something reacting to a loss on one part of the team, right? You take that audio and put it onto a like a scary video, and then when the scary video, you know, pops off at a certain scene at a certain mark in the video, and then you could have that same voice, you know, like those voices queued up, and
Mhm.
you know, just throw it out there like, oh yeah, like this was a real thing in the 70s. Like, I mean, I don't know if you guys can visualize the things that I'm talking about as I'm talking about it, but like, come on now.
Yeah.
So you don't know
It
what's
is crazy.
believable, but I do believe that there are things out there like that because first of all, AI is generating them. AI knows something. And not only that, with my spiritual abilities, I have seen things like that. So it does make it believable. And when I am watching these TikToks, I'm closed as a motherfucker with my spirituality. When something really, really piques my interest, then that's when I'll open myself up just a little bit. And then that's when I can tell if it's real or fake. But it's the visual that's making it like, holy shit. And then when you go to sleep and then you hear this one right next to you. And it's just like, oh my God. Babe, stop it. Mm-mm. Don't do that to me, man. I almost knocked his ass out.
You did
It
say that
was
you hit my back,
scary.
right?
I did. You didn't, and you didn't even feel me.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you didn't.
I
You
didn't
didn't
feel
feel
it.
me. Yeah,
Nope.
that was scary. Mm-hmm.
You think it's possible for somebody to possess me?
Um, yes and no, because um remember, and I'm only saying this because we've experienced this, but like when the time that I was really really sick a couple times,
Mhm.
I know I said that one time, but a couple of times when I got really really sick, you said that I was making noise and talking and I didn't sound like myself.
Yeah.
So but with you, I'm not sure because, well, in the beginning, when you were more like you would take your modern side. And I think how people have treated you in the past, then you hadn't let go just yet. And you were still holding on to, like, you know, oh, this is how people are, this is how people treat me. And you kind of sided with your modern side. But with someone
Mhm.
possessing you, um, I don't want to say that hasn't happened yet. And I don't even want to say the word yet.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it's possible for it to happen, but I mean,
Mhm.
I don't want to believe that it's possible. But I guess it. No, because I was gonna say maybe when I'm sleeping, but even when I go to sleep or when I'm about to fall asleep, I protect myself, and then of course I pray. So, oh, oh, ooh, damn it! I can't say it on here, but I'll tell you after the show. I hate doing that. I know, I shouldn't.
I know
But
because people are going to be calling us pussies when we've been saying that about other people.
no, okay, well,
If
okay.
not being for real.
Last last night before I fell asleep, like I was kind of in between falling asleep and still kind of being awake. I saw somebody come at me, and it was like what's that
Ooh.
guy's name? That the clown from It, whatever his
Oh,
name is. Oh no,
Pennywise. Pennywise.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. But the weird thing is that I saw him in the hallway, like between my room and the other room, and it fucking scared me. And I was like, oh shit, because it felt real. I felt like somebody was in my room, but I knew that that's not what I had seen. So I
Mm.
was like, oh shit. But I mean, obviously that's different than being possessed by something. But yeah,
Mhm.
I know that there's things all over the place all the time. But before, I think because of that, I remembered to protect myself because I was falling asleep before I prayed, and then I was like, oh shit, I haven't prayed. But yeah, it was kind of scary.
Well, that's no surprise to me because all these motherfuckers that don't like us, they talk all this shit and they think it's okay to act an ass. They are fucking bozos anyway, so they are
Bunch of
clowns.
clowns.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Well, that kind of leads us into the topic from of this show about letting go, kind of, sort of. I mean, it is the same people. At some point, I mean, they should let it go, right? But
mhm.
I think because they won't let it go, we can't yet. Because when we're ready to let everything go, it's like they show up, they pop up somehow.
Yeah,
And
like
I
they
know,
try
I
to
think it
keep
was,
us remembering or like they keep us holding on because they show their
yeah.
faces. Yeah. Yep.
But I think we hold on in a different way than they do, and I think that's what you and I were talking about on what was it, Sunday? What's the day?
Mhm.
Tuesday, right? So
Mhm.
yesterday was Monday. On Sunday, when I was having that weird day, I was going through my phone. I was actually I was going through this um external hard drive that I had, and I saw a bunch of screenshots, and I saw a lot of pictures that I saved from maybe 2 3 years now, and even though it kind of took me back to that time. It took me back to those memories. It didn't take me back to the feelings, which
Mhm.
obviously means that I've moved on from it. And the feelings that were attached to those screenshots and even the people related to that, it wasn't like, oh, I still hold a grudge, or it wasn't I still have feelings for them, and it wasn't like I missed the person. It was
Mhm.
more of like, oh, I remember this day. I remember the feeling of the day. And when I was going through all those things, I asked you, did it bother you if I was still holding on to those things? And so you and I had a conversation about letting go. And to me, I don't like again. I don't feel like I'm holding on to the person. I'm holding on to the memory because at that time it was a happy time.
Mhm.
And I don't think that that necessarily means that I miss that person. So I don't know if you want to talk about the stuff that you were holding on to.
Um, like of that specific
Like
person. Like, I mean, obviously,
no,
I'm
just
not gonna
reason
like the reason
the reason
that
why
I
you
was
like the
okay.
reason that you kept the stuff and then when you finally let it go.
So I told Rob um about this specific person and what this person would say to me. um it made me feel good because it's been a long while since anyone has appreciated conversation, that appreciated my topics that I talked about on the podcast. um he would compliment how funny I was, and just making me feel, like special. Like, he made me feel good about what I was doing, and he pretty much like, he believed in me overall. And we would have video chats. Like, we would video chat a lot. And our conversations would be like paragraphs, right? So I damn near saved every single video chat he's ever sent me. I saved every single conversation that we had, down to the emojis and, all of those things, right? Um, I held on to those things, and I would go back and read what this person would say to me, and it just always kept me in a good place, you know. And it's almost one of those things that, like, they just encourage you to, like, move, like, they encourage you to keep going. That was the main reason why I hung on to it, because I wasn't talking to or conversing with anyone. I wasn't romantically involved with anyone. I wasn't even flirting with anyone at that time. um and it was just like, wow, all of these things is coming from a really good person. Like, and I felt this person to be honest and genuine, and, all of these things. And I started to look at all of the people that I was talking to, like friends and all of that. Those that I thought were my friends. Um, and I would just compare, like, you know what? They're not really, like, they don't look at me the way that this person does. And it made me realize that I need to find better friends. I need to find friends like this one. Someone that's gonna, or people that are going to, like, praise you in your hard work, tell you how amazing, how proud they are of you. When was painting my large scale canvases, and I would show it to this person would be like, "Oh man, like, that's badass," or, whatever. And I was just always proud of myself every time that he complimented my works. And those were the messages that I was hanging on to. Yeah, there were, like, other things, like, we had our inside jokes and things like that, but it was just, I wished for this kind of friendship. Like, like my whole times that I felt lonely, all the times that I wanted to have someone to talk to, and I screenshotted and saved these conversations and videos, because I felt like I'm never going to have conversations like this, or I will never find a friend like this. And, when when obviously this person had his own life, right? And, you know, he never really explained why he had to leave or whatever, but I didn't want to pry. Like, I didn't want to be like, "Oh, tell me, tell me, tell me, tell me." I had, and I've grown to let him go. And one thing about me that I can tell you guys is, uh it feels good to me going back on videos, going back and reading screenshots. It feels better to go back to those things while I'm still conversing with that person. When that person leaves me, I have no desire to go back to those videos, and I had no desire to reread those conversations because it's not there anymore. And it's almost like, why would you want to go back and read something that was fake? Because for me it was like, yo, you left a friendship without telling me. And yeah, I could understand, like I'm not the only friend that you got, and you have your own life, you got your job and things like that. So I just left those videos there. I just left those screenshots there. And I just went on with my life. And of course, every time I saw something, like especially like Home Depot, because him and I would laugh about like the garden center and things like that. Those were our little inside jokes. But every time I went to like Home Depot or like I drove right by the garden center, like of course I would think about him, and I'm just like, damn man, like I don't know what he's doing, but I hope he's doing good, and I just try to leave it behind. And it's just like, you know what? That shit is gone. Like there's, until he comes back talking to me and whatever, I just have to leave it there. So that's what I did. But when I when I got with Rob, and it was like I don't want I don't want Rob to think, or I don't want others to think, but others are gonna think what the fuck they want to think. Um, and I'm pretty sure in Rob's personal romantic life, um, I'm sure everyone thinks that Rob and I have used each other for a rebound. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it honestly don't feel that way. Like it just, and I'm not saying that like now that we've been like a year, you know what I'm saying? But like in the beginning, it really didn't feel that way. Like it was just like, um, I'm I'm the type of person, I'm really good at letting go of shit. And we briefly talked about uh the whole brainwashing thing in spirituality, and like, things aren't worth it, I'm not gonna hang on to it. Like it's like this little thing isn't worth like giving up something so great. I'm gonna let this shit go, and I'm gonna continue going on alongside this person. I'm gonna go on alongside with the strong feelings that I have for this person. So I'm not gonna hang on to the bullshit. I'm not gonna hang on to the petty shit. So, you know, um, going back to this individual, like it was like, you know what, like I don't know if he's ever gonna come back and explain himself. And to me, I was in so deep with my husband that it was like, I don't need that anymore. I don't need like an apology or an explanation of why he left the friendship. But like I didn't feel like I needed that to be made whole. You know what I'm saying? Because Rob's been making my whole world whole over and over and over and over again, and then it's just one big ass fucking spiral. And that's what I need. Rob gives me a continuous circle, like full circle. And I just left that shit. And when Rob and I, and maybe I'll go ahead and put that clip in the chat too, that way you guys can check it out, what the hell I'm gonna say right now, and maybe it'll all make sense. But when Rob and I started having our children, um it was like, I'm like so fucking ready to, like, and I had that person's videos saved in my archives on my phone, and in online storages, right? I cleared those motherfuckers out. I cleared that guy's face, everything he's ever said, all of his, concerns, and all the things that I felt were, sweet, kind, friendly, helpful, motivating, inspiring. He made me feel seen. Like all of those things I got rid of, and at first, like, I thought about it and I was just like, you know what? I know I wouldn't like if my husband kept things that his exes saved. Now, I'm not saying that me and this particular individual were romantically involved, but I started to develop feelings for him. And I knew I couldn't have that shit in my phone, knowing that those were the types of feelings that I was developing for him. And I didn't want to mess this up. You know, I'm married to Rob, and we're having children, and like, this is easy for me to let go, you know. And I appreciate this person for believing in me, making me feel, you know, like happy, and making me feel like I was doing good things, and how he thought I was like so funny and so creative and all of those things, cuz nobody was telling me those things but him. You know, yeah, people would show up and they would like laugh at the things that I'm saying, but I don't know if they're laughing at me or with me. So it was like, you know, you had this individual telling me like, man, like, you are just so funny. Like, I love your shows. Your podcast is like the best, and you know, blah blah blah. And it felt nice, cuz who listens to the Why Run telling me this shit? You know, like, there's three of you guys listening right now, and there could be like eight of you listening, but no one's gonna come forth and follow the show. No one's gonna come forth and subscribe. No one's gonna come forth and comment in the chat, and that's perfectly fine. But that's my point. Who's gonna come into my show telling me these things? And the one that was doing it was him. And those were the screenshots, and those were the videos that I was saving, because it's true. Who's going to come and tell me that? See, and it's been a little over a year since he's this particular individual has commented, even tuned into the show. I know he does not listen to the show. I know he doesn't. So for me, it's like, okay, I guess he's changed his mind. I guess my show isn't the best podcast to him anymore. Because if it was, he would still be here supporting my show. And oftentimes I wondered, okay, maybe he's just in too deep with his personal life, with his family, with his job, and he can't participate. But that's just me making excuses for this person, when maybe it could be a little more than that, but I just thought it was me. I don't think it was him, because I was the one developing feelings for him, which was completely wrong. But I don't know his reasons for not coming into the that he doesn't come to my show anymore, because I told another person that I was developing feelings for him. And maybe that person told him about my feelings, and maybe he was like, okay, I need to stop coming to the White Run. And I respect that. I don't need him to tell me, yeah, that's the reason why. I don't need any of that, because I'm happy over here with my little family, with my husband, and all of that shit cleared out from my history. I'm not trying to erase history, because I've talked about this with Rob. I have said it a couple of times on the Why Run. I'm not trying to rewrite history and say, oh, that never happened. I never developed feelings. When I did, I actually told two other people other than Rob that I have feelings for this individual. But for me, it's like, I don't live back there no more. I don't have those feelings anymore. I'm in love. I'm happily married. I have children with Rob, and this is where I'm going to stay. But I am not going to hold on to something when that person did it on his own. I didn't know what the hell was going on. And I'm not excusing my feelings or my behavior, but it was just kind of like, bitch, you knew it was wrong. You know that this is best. Just leave it alone. Let it go. And that's what I did.
Yeah. Um. Well, that's why I was asking you if you thought that me not deleting all those things meant that I was still holding on to the person. Because for me, it wasn't like a particular person. It was a bunch of screenshots that I just saved it in the moment. That honestly, I should go through that drive and just even read the stuff. Because there's stuff in there that I forgot was in there. There's a
Okay,
lot
let
of
me ask you something.
yeah.
Which ones are making you hang on to?
Which one, like if they still mean something to me?
Yeah, like I know you've downloaded shows, like you've downloaded podcast
Yeah,
episodes that you were participating in on other people's podcast shows. Are
yeah.
those the ones that you're like holding on to? Like, completely
That
innocent. I'm not saying that you're hanging on to them because there's a certain person that caught your eye and that's why you're keeping it.
yeah, yeah. Um, I don't think I'm intentionally keeping anything. Like I said, I save stuff and then I completely just don't go back to it. And then if I do come across it, I'm like, oh yeah, why did I save this? And then I'll listen to it or I'll read it, whatever it is, and then I decide if I'm gonna keep it or delete it. But when I decide that I'm gonna let things go, it's not because oh this person lied to me, or this person isn't shit, or I don't have any feelings for them anymore, and then I delete it. For me, it's like there's no value here. The thing,
Mhm.
whatever it was that made me save this screenshot or this clip, doesn't mean anything anymore to me. So that's when I let things go. But honestly, I just don't go back to stuff. Like I remember certain things, and I don't need a screenshot for that. I don't need a clip for that. Those are just things that I remember that might still mean something, but again, it's not like, oh, I'm still feeling anything for this person. Honestly, the things that hurt me the most is like the people that were just friends that I thought we were close and we don't even talk anymore. Those are the ones that at some point in time still has a feeling to it, but not. I don't even know if it makes me sad or if it just hurts or if it's just like, okay, that was a waste of time. Because if there's anything that I hate, it's wasting my time. I think I should have named that yesterday as one of the things that I hate the most, or the things that make me angry. But it makes me angry with myself because I don't blame them. I don't hate them. I don't worry about other people. It's me. It's like how did I stay for that long in this friendship or relationship or whatever it is?
Mhm.
Is how did I allow it to waste my time? That's what makes me mad with myself. But again, I don't blame the person. But so I guess that's why I was asking you. And again, it's because most of it is because I just haven't gone through it. But am I just avoiding that? Like these are questions that I'm asking myself. Am I avoiding it because I'm not ready to let it go? Am I just does it really not matter to me anymore? Could I just go and wipe the entire hard drive off and it won't hurt, it won't mean anything? Or because you mentioned this, which I didn't even know or realize that that's what it was. You said that I like to keep timelines and that that's why I journal the way I do.
Mhm.
Um, you're right. It is a timeline, and even those times, even those moments, led me to where I am now. So if there was a reason why I'm keeping certain things, is because like had that not happened, I wouldn't be where I'm at now. So it is I don't want to say stepping stone because then it makes it sound like I used those people to get to where I'm at now. But it was um I don't know what else to call it other than a stepping stone to get to where I am with you now. Had those things not happened, I wouldn't be where I'm at with you.
Mhm.
So I don't want it to sound like I'm using like I use those people, but at the same time, it's like I don't think there's anybody from my past that can say that I used them for anything. And even if they felt that way, like the way that things ended wasn't because of me. Because another thing that I don't like about myself is I hold on for way too long. I hold on to people and friendships and relationships for way too long. Like the signs
Mhm.
are there for me to let go, and I just don't. So I don't think anybody can say that I didn't care enough. Like I said, I hold on for way too long, even when everything is telling me to let go. And when I finally do let go, I let go. Like there's no when I read those screenshots and I listened to the clips, it didn't take me back to those feelings. It wasn't one of those things where I'm like, damn, I miss that person. It was just like, oh yeah, that was a fun time. Okay, like that was it. So I think if I had to let go, that's why I would let all that shit go if it bothered you, and that's why I was asking you, like, is it that I'm holding on because it was just a piece of the timeline, if it was the time in my life, or do you think it's because it, like, I'm holding on to those feelings?
Mhm.
I know you and I already talked about this, so I don't know if you want to talk about it on the show, but um, for me, holding on, it's not the feelings. But if you felt like it was, like, I never asked you to leave. I never even asked you if you had anything of other people from your past.
Mhm.
You did all those things on your own. Like you deleted the screenshots and the videos and all that stuff on your own. I had no idea you even had them, and it didn't bother me because all that stuff came before me. And I don't know how deep you want to go into this. Can I mention what happened while you and I were already together?
Yes.
So when he came back into your life or tried to come back into your life, and I reacted the way I did, it wasn't for me it was more I didn't know if you were trying to keep that from me to not hurt me or you were trying to keep it from me or even if you were trying to keep it from me, but to me it felt like you were trying to keep it from me because you were going to deal with that on your own. And which again, it's fine, but it was kind of like I don't want you to find out through someone else, so I'm going to tell you myself because in that case there was a lot of people that were involved in that. And I know, like I told you, nobody puts that much into like that much effort into a friendship if it's not a romantic thing. So I feel like that person was like he had feelings for you, and it wasn't just a friendship thing. I know that you may not agree. So when he tried to come back and he gave you that explanation, I was just like, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, and I think for your own good, not in a controlling way, but just like so people don't fucking hurt you and don't use you, don't let them back in. It wasn't a jealousy thing. It wasn't like, oh, I don't want to compete with anyone. That wasn't what that was. It was just like, yeah, the way you said it felt like, oh, you're gonna find out somewhere through somewhere else, and I'd rather be the one to tell you.
Well,
That's
yeah, because people talk. So,
yeah,
of course, I mean, I can't hide anything from you because you you feel it, you see it, you hear it. Whether it's me outright telling you or me like I don't want to say like hiding stuff, but like keeping something as a secret or like
yeah,
you're going to know. I didn't
yeah,
tell you because like oh you're going to hear it from someone else. It was just like like, hey, this is what happened, because I tell you everything. I tell you
Yeah.
things that are too TMI, and because it's me. It's whatever happens with me or about me, like, I'm gonna tell you. And for me, um I was hesitant to tell you because I knew how you felt. We talked about it before. But the main reason why I hesitated was because I didn't know how to really feel about what he was saying to me either. Because,
Mm-hmm.
like what I said earlier in this episode, is that um I don't know why he left. And then all of a sudden he comes back as if nothing happened. And it was like, because for me, I take friendships really serious.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that I trust you with and have told you, like, I'm telling you because I trust you. That's the whole thing about friendships. And motherfuckers, they don't even know how to be a friend. And I've said this like years ago on a radio show, where I said adults don't know how to be friends, because adults, um to them, friendship is friends with benefits. It has to be something sexual, almost like a arrangement, if you will. So I always felt like adults didn't they still don't know how to be friends. But when he did that, and then when he came back, like when he left and came back, telling me that, oh, I had to, do some things, take care of things in my family, or whatever. I was like, oh, okay, like, hey, that's cool. But again, I'm one of those people that I could brainwash myself and be like, just go back to how things used to be. Like, for me, I think I'm that strong in the mind. I'm not going to say that's necessarily good, because that's something that I almost brought into our marriage. And so
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't have been good, because I live a whole fucking life now. Like, friend, you just missed everything. Like, you were gone. So for me, it was like it was that part, and plus it was what I was feeling for him. Like, I was developing feelings, and now it's like I'm this whole ass, happily married woman now. And it was just like, I knew what I had to do, but I still can't keep it from you. So that's why I came
Mm-hmm.
out and said it, because it was like, yeah, like, I did have feelings. Like, when he reached out, I was surprised. I was happy, but it wasn't like I was feeling all fluttery inside when I seen his message. It was just like, you were supposed to be my friend, and like, you kind of like missed it. Like, and
Mm-hmm.
I was putting the feelings that I had, like, it was gone. And it was just like, I don't even know why the hell you came back. Because if you stayed back like all this time, and it was a long time that he stayed back, you could have stayed back forever. You didn't have to come
Mm-hmm.
back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was like, I think you and I both knew that he knows, or knew that you and I were married.
Yeah.
But it was like he took
Yeah.
a
He tried to play it
chance.
off like, yeah. See, I wouldn't have felt like that was disrespectful at all had he been like, "Hey, I checked out your latest episode. I hear that you're married. Congratulations. Sorry about the way that things happened between us, but I'm happy for you." But there was no mention. Like, he completely skipped over that part.
Mhm.
And again, I know that you don't want to see it, or you don't want to say that he had feelings for you, but he did, and I know that he did. And he's responding and acting the way a person who had feelings for you would. Like, oh, I'm not gonna acknowledge your marriage because to me it doesn't exist. I don't want it to exist. So I'm just gonna hit you up and try and spark up this conversation and just pick up where we left off. But like you said, people don't know how to be friends. I know that I've told people before, like, hey, I'm gonna be gone for whatever time. Um, I'll hit you up whenever I'm available, and that's not. I don't. What's it called? Like, I don't like leaving people in the like. I don't want them to worry. I don't want to be a burden to anyone. I would rather just send a message and be like, hey, I'm not gonna be available for this time or whatever. I got stuff going on. I don't have to go into details. He didn't have to go into details like, oh, I'm gonna go get better or whatever the hell, whatever he tried to explain to you. But I think he did owe you something, an explanation of, hey, I'm gonna be gone. Because when you're friends with someone, you care about them. You care about their well-being and their families and all that stuff. So you can't just disappear on people and be gone for almost a year and then be like, oh, hey, what's up? Just play it off like nothing ever happened.
Mhm.
So that's what bothered me because I know that he knew that you were married, and for him to not really acknowledge it, it was almost like, oh, can we pick up where we left off? And I was like, nah, nah, son, because like I told you,
Yeah.
and again, you're not gonna. I don't know why you don't want to accept it, or you don't want to believe what I tell you when it comes to him. I know he had feelings for you, and I know that he didn't respect his relationship enough to not have feelings for you. So why would I think that he was gonna respect our relationship trying to come back?
See, that's the part that makes me sad about him because you and I, we were spiritualists, right?
Mhm.
um yeah, we don't belong to any religion, but for us, we respect people that do. We respect people that are. And when he told me that, he goes to church and, things like that, he don't even curse, you know what I'm saying? And like, I just, I refuse to believe that he would do that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
because um I respect someone that stands by their beliefs, that do things with their community. They're involved in their community. And
Mhm.
he showed me that's who he was. And it just made me respect him a lot more. And it made me feel proud of him that, he was, deep in his beliefs. Because a lot of people, they say that they're, like, oh, like, I'm Catholic, or I'm Christian, I'm, this and that. um and they're not involved, you know what I'm saying? Like, they claim it, but
Mhm.
they're not like doing anything. For me,
Mhm.
I seen him as a person that was like really into it. Like, he was really like, and for him to be so kind and, compliment me and, things like that, like, I just really felt that he was genuine. And for me, it's like, I don't think that he would do that, like, in
Okay,
his what.
I have I have a follow up. So if
Okay.
I acted with another woman the way that he acted with you, would you think that that's okay?
No,
Like, okay,
of
so
course not.
that's my point. That's my point. You don't put that much effort into another female that's not your wife. You don't video chat hiding from your wife with another female if it's innocent. Like I would never take a phone call or a FaceTime and hide from you if it's an innocent. call or FaceTime. There's no reason for that. Why would I have to hide that from you? Now, if I picked up the phone and the person was like, "Hey, I need to tell you something, but it's a secret and I don't want anybody to know." First of all, they need to know that when they say don't tell anyone, that does not include you because you're my wife. So they need to know that. But if they need privacy during that call, then okay, I'll step away, but I'll be like, "Hey, babe, I'll come back." And then they have to expect that I'm going to tell you about it after the phone call. But if you need to leave the room, or if you can only call when you're at work, or you can only call from the car, or you can only FaceTime when it's just you by yourself, then there's something wrong with that. It's not as
Mm.
innocent as you're leading on. So those are the little things that I point out to you because it's like if I was to do that with another female, you would think that that's wrong. So why isn't it wrong when he was doing it with you, knowing that he was in a committed relationship or marriage or whatever it was? If it was really that strong and he was really being innocent, he wouldn't have been doing those things.
Well, my only answer to that would be because it's like I know he had a family, right? um he has responsibilities. So for me, I didn't, then I didn't think that he was hiding me or hiding his, like his situation. My the thing that I thought was that, okay, him going home and like not like texting me, or you know what I'm saying, like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
going home now, I can't talk to you. I didn't take it in that way. I took it like, okay, he's going home to be with his family. His family needs him. He's like the man at the house, and for me, it's like I respected that because it's like I just saw him as this, that he was this strong, man, doing his thing. Like I didn't look at it like he was hiding me or hiding his, what
He
he had going on privately.
he wasn't hiding his wife from you. He was hiding you from his wife, and that's the problem.
Okay, and if it is that, I didn't see it like that because for me it's like, oh, he's going home to his family. Yeah, like you got to be 100% at home. See, I'm not looking at it like, why is he, like keeping me private, or how come he don't, for me it's like he's like, oh, well, I'm gonna go home and I'll talk to you tomorrow, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So like for me it's like, okay, yeah, go home, be with your family, like cuz to me I'm not taking it anyway like he's doing that, because for me I
Right.
was feeling that way. I didn't feel like he was like crushing on me. I really don't. I don't think
Okay,
he
so
was
now
crushing on me. So I
think of
think it
it
was
the
just
way I
me.
was. Okay, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, let's just say that I do the same thing. I have a female friend that I talk to and message with when I'm at work, but when I'm at home, I don't. Don't you think that there's something wrong with that?
No, only because I know you. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know how his significant other looks at him or accuses him of. I don't know
But
how
that's
they
why
treat
I'm
each
saying
other,
it. I don't even
but
think that she knew about you. Is my point. So if he was really just trying to be a friend, and he's like, "Oh, I found this podcaster," and like we message off of the show, then I don't see an issue with him not just sharing the podcast with his wife, or I'm just gonna say wife because I don't know,
mhm.
but or introducing you guys. Like it's almost the same shit. If I listen to Joe Rogan and I'm like, "Hey, baby, you should listen to this podcast," there's nothing like. Why would I want to keep that from my wife? Why would I want to keep a friend from my wife? And if I message with that person offline, then yeah, of course. Like I don't know. There's just too many red flags there
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, and I
That
get it because I know I said that way before I even met that person, that hey, like, it should just be you and your significant other. You're not supposed to have friends. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
it does kind of make me a hypocrite, you know, thinking like, okay, well, since I know, since you're telling me that you're in this situation, we probably shouldn't be talking. That
Yeah, but
probably should have.
you respect people more than others, because if it would have only been on the show and your only interactions with that person, with him, were on the show, then you wouldn't go after the show and message him on purpose to see if you would get a response. Because, there's a difference. You do know how to respect. If it was just an online or just a listener, that type of friendship, then okay, cool. You're not going to go digging deeper, unlike other people. Does
Hmm.
that make sense? Like that's where I'm like, no, there had to be cool. If he went out of his way to message you and FaceTime with you and all that stuff and worry about you when you were going through stuff, that's more than just someone that listens to you. And then that's why I'm saying, like, why was there an issue, or why did you never get introduced to the wife then? If it was so innocent, if he was such a good guy.
Well, my thought, again, I'm not trying to make excuses. This is really how I thought.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
maybe she's just not in a podcast. Some people don't even know what a podcast is. So for
yeah.
me, it's like maybe he enjoys listening to podcasts, not just because, it's me, or, maybe it's just the topics, maybe he listens to, religious podcasts. I don't know. But maybe he's just into podcasts. Maybe he's just into radio shows, and maybe she's not. Maybe she's more of a, like, a music person. So
Mm,
for me, I'm just thinking, like, I'm not thinking that he's hiding me. Like, I'm just thinking that, like, okay, the only time that he could maybe really listen to a podcast is during the times that he's, working, which was the times that he was listening to my show. And then when he was done with his work at work, he would go to the gym, and when he was at the gym, he was listening to the show still. So for me, I'm thinking like, oh, that's his only time that he could, like, really chill and have his alone time at the gym, conversing not just with me during my show, but he was conversing with a lot of people during the show, in the group chat. So for me, I'm thinking like, okay, like, there's nothing wrong with, saying hello or whatever, but like, for him conversing with me, I think it was just more like, maybe he felt like I needed a friend, because on the show, I always said, like, I don't have many friends, you know um
no, 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 no. Now you are making excuses for him
no, i'm
because
just i'm just saying that that's how I think maybe he thought about me, because
okay, but
wait, wait,
wait, wait, wait,
one
wait.
okay,
Go.
go ahead, go ahead, go.
No, go ahead. Go.
No, I was just gonna say that, like, okay, um you have abilities, and you have a purpose. So I know sometimes when you know that people are feeling lonely, or they're feeling lost or whatever, I know that you would step up and not necessarily be their friend, but like, you would just, like, talk to them. And
Mhm.
that's how I felt, that because I feel, and maybe I'm completely wrong, but the way that I viewed people from the church, okay, I viewed people from the church, anybody that went to church, they will always hand their hand out to people that are lonely, are in dire need, and for me, I felt like maybe that's what he was doing. But here, I'm mistaking it for, like, and then I just develop feelings. And that's where I feel like I overstep. So you go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say he would talk to people that were in your show. He would see the comments in the show, right? He knew that there was single people on there. He knew that you would message with other people because you would say it on the show. I was able to witness like the beginning of the end of you two, I guess, talking.
Mm-hmm.
So if I was him and I'm in a relationship and for some weird reason I don't want my wife to know that I'm talking to this girl that's lonely, like even that seems weird, right? If you're in a marriage, you don't do that. Why not hit up someone that you know is single, has the time to dedicate to this lonely person and say, hey, like you would bring them into the congregation. You wouldn't just single them out and be like, oh, I'm going to dedicate all my free time to you. I'm going to go out of my way to show you what a friend is supposed to be, right? Why wouldn't you bring them into the congregation and be like, hey, these are my church friends. These are my single friends. These people have all the time in the world or whatever it is. And bring in the whole group instead of you being the one. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Because I used to do that too. Like I know what you're saying. I have picked out a person who I know is dealing with a lot of shit, and I'll talk to them. But then I'll introduce them to someone else and be like, hey, well, here's another person that is going through the same shit as you are, or just I wouldn't just be like, oh, you're my friend. I'm gonna message
Mhm.
you when I'm gonna pay extra close attention to you. And maybe they took that the wrong way too, because I know that at least two people thought that it was more than what it was. But when they came to me with it, and I was like, no, I do that with everybody. Like, yes, you are special, but not in that way.
Mhm.
Then it was up to them. Then they would feel weird or be like, "Oh, well, I misunderstood, and I thought it was more than that. So let me remove myself." So see, even him removing himself from that friendship made makes him look guilty of something. That's why I'm saying
Mhm.
like there was more there for him. I know that. I know that you know that. Well, you know that now because I'm pointing all these things out to you, and you should see it. And
Yeah, I'm starting to.
yeah, when you said that you wouldn't like for me to do what he used to do if I'm married with someone else, then yeah.
Mhm.
But I know, and it might have been innocent, it might have been unintentional, but that's what happened. He developed feelings for you too. Uh,
Can
I know
I add
that I've
something
talked.
to that
Yeah,
after you're
yeah,
done?
yeah. No, go ahead now because I was gonna get into something else.
Okay. Um, I guess also I don't want to say I'm excusing him, but I think also where that whole thing comes from, as far as like, I don't think he liked me or whatever, only because I sometimes feel like, women that are my age, I feel like they're more like sophisticated than I am. Like they're more grown up than I am. And this certain individual, like he has like a certain like he has a type, right? Like everybody has a type. And I don't feel like I'm anybody's type. And it's like, this certain individual, like I think his type are, I mean obviously his significant other, but if he's talking that they both go to church, I'm thinking that he likes church girls. I don't think he likes girls like me that are like fuck you motherfucking, like, because or I'm talking about whipped cream and fucking tabletops, like where I'm talking about, splash splash squirt squirt, Home Depot garden center being nasty. See, like, I'm not his type. Like, this dude comes from the church, you know what I'm saying? So when you say that to me, I'm like, no, there's no fucking way. And I think, why would someone from the church like ratchet bitches? Now I know you're probably gonna go into, motherfuckers that get caught, like on social media, they're getting exploited and things like that. But like, I'm looking at this one individual that I feel like I know on a friendship level. Um, I don't think him and I gotten personal, like, or like sexual or even romantic, because that was only me. The only time that I would talk sexual, not to this person, but about sexual stuff, is what I've said in the cast. like what I said on my web show. Oh well, yeah. So for me, like I said, and I've said this on cast before, every time I talked about sex on a web show, I was always making fun of it. I was always making fun of, like, oh, motherfuckers coming on bitches' backs, but they're not really, like, releasing or relieving themselves. They're actually like spitting on the bitch's
Yeah.
back, and like trying to make it, like, you know what I'm saying. So I always joked about sex. I never really got into, well, I guess I did. I talked about my sexual preferences, but listen, though
Mm,
my personal sexual preferences never came up between him and I'm gonna make that very clear. He's never said, like, "Oh well, now I know how you like it," and it, that shit never came up. It was always like, "Oh, that shit was really funny." It's like, yeah, motherfuckers do that shit. So, like, for me, I'm just thinking I'm not his type. That's why
okay.
I feel like you're wrong.
Okay. Okay. So when you and I started communicating off the show, right, in
Mhm.
private, I was now I wasn't married. I was in a real true relationship. I had feelings for someone. I was in a situationship. I was the second. I was the option, right? How many times did I hit you up and even mention the sexual stuff that you would talk about? It was always like that was a good show. I like the music. I like the topic, or I like the spiritual, not the spiritual, the horoscope, that type of stuff. I never mentioned the sexual stuff, and I'm
Mhm.
only saying that because if I was in a non-committed second sloppy seconds situationship, but I still had the respect for that situationship to not talk to you about, oh, that was funny what you said about the sexual stuff. Like, if I had that respect, why wouldn't you expect this church going man who's married with a family to not mention that shit to you?
mm, I don't quite understand what you're asking me.
I'm just trying to point out that if I was in a like I don't understand how you would hit someone up in private and be like, "Oh, that was funny, that sexual stuff you were talking about," if it wasn't still on your mind after the show. Like
Well,
maybe I'm
because
just
because the show would end as soon as it would end. Like, we're messaging each other, and he would be like, "Oh, that shit was funny." But
we did that
see,
too.
n-
That's my point.
not right after the show. No, we didn't, because we only
There was
talked.
like two times where we were like, where you hit me up and you were like, "Thank you for coming to the show," and I was like, "Oh, it was a good show." And it was funny or whatever it was, but I never said. And I remember there was a specific time where I was asked, "Did you take notes?" Because you were talking sexual, and this was this was kind of I wasn't in that situationship anymore.
Okay.
I wasn't looking at you. Wait, I wasn't looking at you like, oh, she's gonna be my next. I was kind of like in between. Am I gonna continue? Like I was completely done after that situationship. I was done with the whole love thing for a little bit because I was like, I don't want to go through that shit again. So I wasn't even looking at you like, oh, she's my next one. Like she's, like how some people think that we did. Yeah, when you did that show and we did message each other right away, it was about the show as a whole. It wasn't just like
Mhm.
me pointing that out, like, oh, I didn't know you like that, or I didn't know this, and that type of shit.
Can I answer?
Yeah,
The reason why you never did is because you straight up get in trouble if you did. And that
with
bitch
who though? I
knew.
was done.
No, you weren't done. You were still like connected to that person. You know what I'm saying? Because I kept telling you that I don't think you're never gonna let this person go, you know?
Babe, I was getting
And
in trouble for telling the truth in that situationship, and I
exactly.
was thinking
So
about
you would have not gotten to the sexual topics with me because you would have gotten in trouble. Now, with the other individual in my situation, right?
Mhm.
Uh his significant other, like you said, didn't know about me. So how would he have gotten in trouble? Because if his significant other knew that he was listening to my shit, knowing how my episodes could go, they do go sexual sometimes, and if she knew that him and I were talking, yeah, for sure, there's no fucking way that he would have been like, "Oh, that shit was so funny." Your ass would have got caught because she had already suspected that, and she was so far off, but she was so convinced that that's what you were doing because she just thinks that you're a fucking Casanova like that. So that's why, in my opinion, I feel like that's why you wouldn't have went there with me, because you would have gotten in trouble, even though
No,
she
I
was having
honestly
her
was,
goddamn cake and eating it too.
but I wasn't thinking about that. Like I said, I didn't focus strictly on the sexual stuff.
Exactly. But
But it wasn't because, oh, I'm gonna get in trouble, so I'm just not even gonna mention that. What? Okay, how was I gonna get in trouble if I wasn't the one being honest with her about who I was talking to?
okay.
Right? I didn't have to tell her shit. I didn't have to tell her like, hey, I'm messaging with this person
Mm,
off the air or off the show. Like, there's no way that she would have found out. I never gave her my passwords. I never gave her any. I I didn't even like sending her screenshots. That was an issue between us because she wanted me to send the screenshots, but she would tell me like, prove it to me, and that to me meant she didn't trust me. And again,
mm,
if I was ever honest with anybody, it was with her in that situation. With
mm,
other people, I wouldn't be so fucking honest because I was always afraid to hurt their feelings. With her, I was like, I'm just gonna be honest. If it hurts your feelings, that's on you. And I would get in trouble for being honest about everything. Yet I was like, I'm not gonna change that because I am an honest person. I am gonna be honest, and if it's brutal, then okay, whatever. That again, that's how you want to take it. But could I have lied to her and been like, yeah, we're not talking? Yes, she would never have fucking known. Would she have had a feeling that I was talking to someone other than her? Maybe, but she wouldn't have been able to prove it. So,
mm.
and she definitely didn't know what you and I were talking about because we weren't talking about anything that I would feel like, oh, I'm gonna get in trouble if I mention that. I would get in trouble for everything. Like you said, she had her cake, she was eating it too, and she was still mad at me for shit that she was doing. So,
Mm.
but it's the same thing. It's the opposite. That situation was still the opposite of you and that guy because
Okay,
he
well,
wasn't.
here's another opposite thing then.
Mhm.
So you said that you would never come at me talking like, "Oh, that was a funny sexual show that you did," right? You would
Mhm.
have never done that. And
No.
I know that's because you and I haven't been talking that much. With this other one, we were sending video chats and our conversations were like paragraph long. So I think he was more able to come at me with like, "Oh, that sexual shit that you were talking about was funny as hell." So I think that's why, because you're like, who the fuck would do that? And it's like someone that knows each other very, very well, or like half-ass well, more than me and
Mhm.
you. Because I was talking more with him than I was talking with you. With you, it was like, "Oh, I hope you enjoyed the show. Have a nice night." And I would go to this other person and be like, "Oh yeah, that shit was so funny." Like I think that's the difference of like who would come out and say that unless it was fresh on his mind. And it's like, yeah, of course it's fresh on his mind because I just ended the show and he's messaging me telling me how funny it was. It's not like we went into the night talking about it. Like we never did that.
Of course, because he had to go home to his wife
Right, which I was
and hide
like,
you
I knew that where he
and
was
hide you.
going. Oh my god, I don't know if he was hiding, but for me, I knew he had another life, and I had nothing to do with that. So for me, it was like, oh yeah, go home, chill out, relax, enjoy yourself. and I'll talk to you tomorrow. And he's just like, all right, peace. Like for me, it was like, okay, you're going home, whatever. Like,
Again,
but
because you know how to respect and you know your boundaries. But when people are putting that much effort into hiding you and having a secret conversation with you and only FaceTiming you when they're at work, like that takes way too much effort. You know what? Actually, we can't even say that I didn't make some flirtatious comments to you. The funny thing is, I did
you
it in
said
the
it in
show.
the chat and I completely missed
Ex-
them.
I said it in the show, right? So, and okay, that would have been way easy for me to hit you up after and be like, "Oh, you missed what I said. I was trying to flirt with you or whatever, right?" But I never did that. I wasn't
Mm.
doing it. I was like, I don't know. People just say that I fucking flirt whenever I'm just talking, and I'm not trying to flirt, but somehow people take it that way. But those two times when I did do it on purpose, I did it in the show, and I wasn't hiding from anyone.
Mm.
But I just want you to see the difference, babe. Like, you can't. No, you might not want to
Okay.
see it. You might not accept it, but I know what he was doing
Okay. Like because we've
about your innocence, and you not seeing the signs, and you
right.
not
Like do you
knowing
think I'm
when
making it
someone's
up?
flirting with you. No, I know that you're not making it up.
Because for me, like that's you know like I realize and I understand myself well enough to know that I had feelings for someone that I knew it was wrong. So of course
Hmm.
I'm gonna look at myself. Like I'm gonna look at myself and be
Right.
like, yo, bitch, like he's married.
Me too.
Like he has a whole nother life. And for me, it was just like, you know what? I know I can't have this person, but I'm going to enjoy all of the things that he's telling me. And it's not like, okay, I don't think he's ever flirted with me. That's really how I feel. Like I think he was clowning me, making fun of me, like, and yeah, just laughing at me, like just laughing at the things that I say, laughing at my topics. I don't think he's ever flirted with me. But for me it was like I like how I can make him laugh. Like I like how that he likes my topics. I like how, yeah, he has this innocence of, a church going man, but for me it was like I'm happy that I could do something,
You know what I
and
just thought about? I don't wanna.
what
I don't wanna lose it.
what
I was gonna say a clown can dress up in a suit and he's still a clown. That's what I saw when you said he was a church going guy.
oh my
Sorry.
gosh.
Sorry. That's I don't know.
For me, like I felt like he was just too good, like too pure. Like there's no way that he would mess up. And I'm looking at myself like I mess up all the time. This is my bad. But for me, it was like, yeah, I am gonna eat up and soak up all of the compliments
No.
and his
I was about
kindness.
to say you ate it up because he was feeding it to you.
Well, of course, who the fuck was giving it to me? And I knew that one day it was gonna all go away. And when it did come, I was like, okay, that's it. That's why I think I was good at letting it go, because I knew it wouldn't. I would never have what I wanted.
That kind of leads
So
me into. Are you done? Sorry.
yeah, yeah, I'm done.
That kind of leads me into like the whole stepping stone thing. When I was
Mm-hmm.
in those relationships, when I was with those people and entertaining that stuff, I knew that it was not going to work. I knew that they were not my forever person. And at the time, I didn't know why. It was almost like you're trying to fit a shoe that doesn't fit on your foot. Like you don't know why. It's the size that you wear. It's you've bought that size for your entire life, but that particular shoe just doesn't fit. That's how I felt with those other people. When I first got to know you and um like when we started talking about like being together and all that stuff, it was it didn't feel forced. It didn't feel like, oh, she's just for now. She's just a rebound, or she's just someone that I'm gonna talk to for now. It was almost instant. I knew that I was gonna be with you. I knew that we were gonna be where we are now. I knew that you were my person. You were gonna be who you are, and I just knew it. It took me a while to accept it because I was coming out of getting hurt, and basically I hurt myself. Like, you know how I said, of course you're gonna eat it up because they're feeding it to you. I knew that I was wrong in that relationship. I knew that I was not the first choice, and I knew that for the 2 years that I was in it. And at some point, I stopped lying to myself, and I stopped trying to convince myself that what their words matched their actions. I knew that it was not what it was, and that's when I decided I need to walk away now because that person's gonna keep stringing me along until I'm done. And I know that the timing doesn't help. So for her, she's gonna be like, "Yeah, right. You moved on, and that's why you let me go." That's not what happened, and that's another reason why those screenshots come in handy because you I don't know. There's a whole story there, but I don't want to get into that. You know the story. They don't need to know that. Um, but I just knew that that wasn't what I wanted it to be, and I knew that it wasn't going to be that. So, do I blame myself for wasting time? Do I blame myself, not just my time, but her time too? Yes, I do. I feel bad for the way that things played out because I knew that I was wrong from the beginning. Did it have to take 2 years? No. Were my feelings genuine? Yes. Was I trying to make it work and trying to make it work not just for her and me, but for me? Yes, of course. But and again, the timing doesn't help. But I know that you know that I did not use you to get over that. I know that you know that I didn't just move on to you. So I don't remember why all this came up, but um, at some point, I guess holding on to those screenshots and those clips and all that stuff to me again isn't. It's not like I'm holding on to what was. I'm just holding, and I don't even know if it's holding on, but I keep on because that's the path that I took to get to you. It's it feels good. It feels good to relive all those things, and it's it's like damn, we went from way back then to where we are now, and it makes me realize again how we were supposed to be together, how you were the one that I was looking for the entire time. And then even when I found you, it was like, oh, this is too good to be true. At first, I don't remember if you. I mean, I don't know if you remember me telling you that. I was like, damn, you're giving me everything that I've always asked from other people. And it did feel like it was too good to be true. I was scared that I was gonna lose it. I was scared that it wasn't real. But at some
Mhm.
point, it was like, okay, I can't deny that it is real. This is meant to be, and I'm just gonna go with. I'm gonna go full speed ahead. I'm not gonna hold back anymore. I'm not gonna waste time anymore. And that's why we are where we are. A year in, and it's like been 20 years. But um, that's
Hi.
but yeah, there's no excuses for people the way that they act, and I'm not making excuses for what I did either. I know I was wrong, and I honestly feel like I already paid for that, so I'm not even afraid of karma. I don't think that I'm gonna lose you because of what happened with me and that other person, with me and her. I think I
Mhm.
already paid for all that, and finding you and being with you is where I'm supposed to be. It is a new start. It is what I was supposed to be doing. I know didn't we do a show on Destiny? Oh, we did, but it was on Spaces.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, it felt destined, and that one, see, it came full circle. That one comment, that one flirtatious comment that I made to you on your show had to do with one of the readings, and I said, did she mention anything about a black box or a black cube? And you didn't even see
No,
it.
I didn't.
That shit was funny though. But yeah.
Didn't another person see it? See what you
Yeah, three
wrote?
people commented. Three people
I
commented
completely
on there,
missed
and they're
it.
like, Well, they didn't. I'm sure that's a screenshot somewhere.
Well, see, that's the thing. If there was like two or three people that seen it, then why were they even questioning our relationship and then our
They weren't
marriage?
surprised though. Remember that?
They were or weren't surprised.
Weren't. There was two people after
Oh.
when we announced that we were married. They were like, yeah, like we didn't see that coming. Those,
You're gonna have to drop me names because I don't remember those
I
people.
will.
I just remember
Yeah,
one after that a black cube comment because you told me about it. I didn't see it for myself.
yeah.
Yeah, because the chat was going kind of fast, and I don't read the chat sometimes, so you guys have to. Was that the free heathen that was in the chat just now? Did he leave? The
Yeah,
free heathen, sup man? How are you doing? If you're still here, what up? I still watch your
yeah.
live streams of you creating and painting. Thanks for stopping by and saying sup. I can't even read his comment. I just I
No,
I just remember seeing his name.
I lost track of time. I got like 5 minutes.
Oh shit.
Well, 3 minutes because I gotta go do something real quick.
Uh-oh.
But
Well, shall we be done with the show then?
yeah,
Cuz I got to do some stuff as well too.
yes, baby.
Yes. Well, thank you babe so much for joining me on panel.
Thank you so much for having me.
Mm-hmm. And do you have any idea what we're gonna be talking about in tomorrow's show? If not, then
Did
I
we
think
get
I have
into
some.
the misunderstandings?
Oh no, we didn't. So I
You
guess
know what?
we'll
I think we should have one topic. We'll probably just
tomorrow. It's gonna be misunderstandings, and
yeah,
I'm talking about ear cheese. Well, that's part
yeah,
of it. If you guys don't know
part of
what
it.
ear cheese is, I've been saying it in the past Y Run episodes where I can't hear very well in my left ear, and I always say ear cheese because you guys ever watch cartoons, right? And you always see the rat with like there's always like his ear, like half of his ear is like bitten off. That's ear cheese to me. And I got ear cheese. I can't hear in my left ear. So we're gonna talk about misunderstandings about whether you're losing your hearing or you completely hear something completely different.
Yeah,
So we're gonna be talking about that tomorrow, and I kind of got in my feelings today because that actually happened between me and
yeah,
Rob, and yeah, we're gonna talk about it tomorrow. So don't miss out. You guys come back to the
yeah.
Y Run, but yeah, thank you, babe, for joining me on panel. And thanks to everybody that has joined us live. If you are listening to this on a playback, don't forget to add, rate, comment, subscribe, follow, and share. And we will talk to you guys in the next Y Run podcast live. Peace.